Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. Hope everyone is having an awesome day. If you saw the thumbnail, you saw a lot of boxes, and I've already done the install part, so this video isn't super long. But I have the window sticker in hand, so today what we are going to do is talk about what the price for this Cadillac Escalade is, what I paid for it, what the total build spec sheet looks like, as well as go over some of the financial details. I know people really like that kind of information. It tends to do well on YouTube, especially for a car that isn't as high demand as, say, a C8 Corvette or a Ram TRX is. I don't expect to get a ton of views with this car, but I still continue to do my news updates and try to release any information that I come across, or try to go over some of the ownership experience for all the various vehicles that I have had or plan to have in the future. Let that be a hint, because I do have several vehicles on order for the next year or two. No idea how I'm going to pay for them, but usually that's how it is until the car shows up, and then I kind of figure it out from there. And so big thing in today's video I'd like to go over is what my monthly payment is, what the insurance for this 2023 Cadillac Escalade ESV Sport is. And without a doubt, this is the most expensive vehicle that I have ever purchased, as well as it carries the highest interest rate that I've ever had to pay on a car. So it's really unfortunate that the both two kind of coincided and collided with one another, but it is what it is. And so after today's video, I'm actually heading out on a road trip, so there's going to be a little bit of a block for content on the channel, but stay tuned, because the next time I get back with this vehicle from my road trip, it will have about 5,000 miles on it. It's at about 600 now, so I have a long road trip in front of me. And what better way to experience the open road than with a Cadillac? So all the boxes that you guys saw earlier are floor mats. I went with the OEM Cadillac floor mats, which gets you this really crazy metal Cadillac logo. It's actually one of the nicest floor mat logos that I've ever seen in any vehicle. The TRX has a logo in it, the C8s did, but a lot of it is kind of embossed in here with a small emblem. This is like a full-blown metal emblem that you would actually find on the exterior of the car. It's that caliber and quality. And I prefer the OEM floor mats. You can kind of see the logo on the side here. It really matches the logo on the floor mats in terms of finish and quality. Coming around to the second row, you have kind of full coverage. They snap in with these little ties right here. You might not be able to see it in the dark, but they all clip in together and fit really perfect. Quick little view here. Third row also gets floor mats. And the big thing is the floor mat in the cargo area. If you are in the marketplace for a floor mat for a Yukon Denali XL, or just a Yukon XL in general, a Suburban, or in this case a Cadillac ESV, this is the floor mat to get. Because of the pitch back here, stuff does roll around a little bit. It kind of declines backwards, or in other words, kind of inclines going forward. That's so that when you lower these seats down, it gives it a flat floor. Think back to 2 generations ago where you actually had to physically remove the seats to get a flat floor. They kind of bridged the difference with the independent rear being lower in the third row, as well as the rear kind of coming up with storage space underneath back here for additional storage. And so what that means is you do have some extreme roll around for objects back here. And this OEM floor mat actually has little baskets or bins, I don't know, totes if you will, that you can put stuff in. They're very sturdy. They don't close right away on their own. Actually, it is a bit of a pain to close them if you want to. They eventually just kind of collapse with a little bit of pressure, but just like that. And so you get all the advantages of a flat floor to put objects down on, but you can also open it up and put your belongings in here so they don't move around. And so I actually used my rewards points from all the C8 Corvettes, so it ended up actually not costing me any real money. I think it was 16 bucks out the door from the Cadillac dealership. And so I guess if you buy 3 C8 Corvettes, you get a pair of Cadillac floor mats for the first, second, and third row. So I guess a set, I should say, for. But I will list all the part numbers down in the description below if somebody is looking for any of these floor mats. I actually, over time, have grown a liking to the OEM GM floor mats. I actually think they're better than any aftermarket brand. I've had WeatherTechs over the years. I love WeatherTech as a brand. I've had Huskies over the years back when I didn't have as much money and was looking for a more budget-friendly option. But now, honestly, these cost the same as WeatherTechs, and one issue I've had with some of my more recent WeatherTech mats is that after some time, they start to curl a little bit, and you have to leave them out in the sun, and they're kind of okay for a couple months before they start to curl again. And the finish of those floor mats are very difficult to clean. I had this finished floor mat in the C8 Corvette for nearly 2.5–3 years. Super easy to clean, super easy to make them look brand new. They've never curled for me. I don't know if the rubber material is different. And so now I do prefer the OEM all-weather floor mats over aftermarket brands just because of that experience. And so now, talking about numbers, financials, and prices. This 2023 Cadillac Escalade is a sport trim model. It's not a sport platinum, which for the price point is pretty absurd to think that there's still more expensive trim levels than this. I think this is very expensive compared to its competition, and I would love to compare the Cadillac Escalade to a Grand Wagoneer, to a Lincoln Navigator, because I don't think the Escalade is a home run win. This was more of a personal buy for me because I have a little bit bias towards Cadillac Escalades. I've shared that in a previous video, but the base price of this vehicle for a ESV Sport is $97,095, and the sport trim gives you kind of black, gloss black accents. It gives you the gloss black trim surround as well as a mesh grille instead of the barred grille. Just looks really, really good, very imposing, very classy. And then wrap that with the gloss black trim around the windows, which I think really set this car apart, as well as the back pillar over there is black. This bar over here is in black, as well as you get black exhaust tips down there. Being a sport trim short of the fit and finish of a platinum and the massaging aniline seats, I think this comes with every other major feature or luxury offering that is available on the Cadillac Escalade. But the very first package we have is $2,895 for the Onyx package, which is gloss black Escalade nameplates as you saw on the rear tailgate. Let that helicopter pass real quick. We next up get part of the Onyx package, these monochromatic Cadillac emblems that are dealer installed, so the dealer actually pops the factory ones off and puts these on. It would be nice if you could keep them, I suppose, but I believe the dealer has to mail them back. There's a lot of really cool finishes that take some of the color out to match the sport package. Next up, as a part of the Onyx package, you get a 12-spoke gloss black alloy wheel. Nothing fancy there. It just looks really good with the car. It kind of fits the theme. I like that it's black lug nuts as well that come with this package. Believe it or not, the wheels are also a dealer installed option, and so I imagine this ships with really, really cheap steelies. I've seen those on transport trucks. Next up, you have the touring package for $2,550, and what that gets you is illuminated sill plates. So not that you can see it in this video, but these sill plates do illuminate and say Escalade for the front row, and I actually don't know what the back row says. And it says Escalade in the back row. So again, illuminated sill plates. I know they illuminate in the front. I'm not quite sure about the back, but also part of the touring package is the air ride control. And so as you've seen in previous videos that I've made with this car, you have some buttons to the left of the driver controls to bring the suspension down 1.5 inches or so, and then up 1.5 inches or so. And then this is the normal ride height that I'm filming today's video in. It is very slow in terms of it going up and down. It does auto adjust based on if you're towing something or if you have weight in the back. It does adjust and auto level itself, which is cool. And then lastly, as a part of the touring package, you get soft closed doors. You've probably seen that a couple of times in this video already, but let me demonstrate it. You don't have to slam them. You can kind of bring them about 3/4 of the way, let it go, and then the door manages to close itself pretty easily. Next up, we have a couple of subscriptions. We have the Super Cruise, which is a $2,500 option for 3 years worth of service, as well as we have the rear entertainment system for $1,995, night vision for $2,000, and assisted power steps for $1,750. And while we're here, let's just go down this column. The 3-year OnStar package is $1,500. So kind of going over some of that. Comes with headrest monitors in both the headrests. They're kind of sticked on and they adjust up and down, not left to right, which is a little wonky because I think the third row, given the nature of these monitors, you don't have a lot of off-axis viewing. I can't capture it on camera, unfortunately, but from this angle, I would not be able to get a clear picture, only from a straight-on angle. But I do like the ability to turn them on at least from the front. So what I can do is actually turn on and power on both these monitors and limit what's viewable back here from the front. Night vision's a little gimmicky. I think it's a good party trick. I would not option it myself for $2,000. I would have preferred to have had the performance brake option on this car. Somebody else spec'd this and they opted to go with night vision, which I think is just, again, another gimmick that I haven't found a good usable function for. And as much as it sucks that they charge $1,500 for OnStar connected services, something that Lincoln and Ford offer for free on their vehicles, so I think Cadillac is cutting corners with a separate line item for just 3 years. But this is good for 3 years. It also comes with Wi-Fi, which is a good addition to have. And I do like the ability to access the vehicle from my phone. I will say the app is not perfect. The Ford experience is a little bit better because the app logs out after every 30 minutes. So every time I have to enter in my password or multi-factor authenticate, whereas in the Ford app, it was a little bit more seamless. And the last option is the $1,225 option for the Radiant Red tint coat. And this is a beautiful paint color. I think with the Onyx package and all the black accents, it is a little dirty with some pollen on it. But having ceramic coated it and PPF'd it, both of which I have shared in my last video what the prices were, I think it is a phenomenal color. I saw this color on the highway, which actually sold me on the entirety of this car. And then I guess the second row doesn't get the one touch up button because chip shortages still. I mean, they're throttling full-blown production of their General Motors trucks to try to continue price gouging customers and control inventory, almost contributing to this now fictitious inventory shortage that dealers are using to continue to abuse customers. But I guess they don't have chips for second row windows, which it is what it is. And so all in all, that brings our total to $115,355 for this 2023 Cadillac Escalade. And with taxes and all, my out-the-door number was about $123,795 and some pennies on top of that. And the big contributor is because the state I live in has ridiculous amounts of sales tax and really anti-consumer sales tax laws. I had to pay the full amount of sales tax on this vehicle because I had sold the C8 Corvette separately 6 months ago. So, and when you round it all together, lose the sales tax there, repay it here. Thankfully, the C8 did sell enough to cover most of that sales tax. I didn't make money on the car at all, but I did get most of my money back. This vehicle is definitely going to be lost in the long run because the prices for these vehicles are going to come down as the economy is turning, because these high interest rates are making it very untenable to pay full retail. But because I needed the vehicle, I am going to be one of those people that kind of gets burned by this turning car market. In terms of insurance, most expensive vehicle to insure so far, even more expensive than all the C8 Corvettes in the past, more than the TRX. The insurance on this vehicle is $1,475. That is for the full year with multi-car discount. That's the rate that I got with a really clean and good driving record. Not bad, honestly. I feel like I was paying more for my first vehicle in high school, which was just a complete train wreck dirt box, for full everything all covered in case of something unexpected. I think $1,475 is not bad given how expensive this vehicle really is. And so finally, monthly payment. My monthly payment, I financed about $90,000 on this vehicle. I only put $32,000 down. I like to do 50-50 usually, but I'm kind of mixed in a couple other projects that are just wrapping up. And the need for this vehicle kind of just fell into place. I didn't put a ton of money down, financing $90,000 at 5.55%, which was like above and beyond the best rate I could find anywhere. The dealer did a phenomenal job fighting to get a good interest rate for me. Every other bank was near 6% right now. Their rates have actually gone up in the last couple of weeks, so expect another Fed rate hike potentially at the next Fed meeting. Banks are already starting to factor that in. Rates are comfortably in the 6s. So at 5.5%, 72 months is what I was able to get the term for this vehicle, and financing $90,000. I'm looking at around $1,496 and change. And so this is the most expensive vehicle that I have ever purchased. It is the least amount of money that I've ever put down on a new vehicle purchase. It is the longest term that I've ever financed. It's also the most expensive payment that I've ever had. And it all comes at a time where the car market is crashing. And so, of course, my needs kind of aligned with literally the worst time in a decade to buy a Cadillac Escalade. But that's my luck. I'm happy with my decision. I've had really good luck with all the cars I've been in and out of over the last couple of years. That there was one that was bound to be a very clear loss, and so it's going to be this one. I'm going to have fun with it. They are still selling the sport trim specifically for about $10,000 over MSRP. That is retail, and so I expect trade-in to be close to sticker if I were to trade this in on, say, a C8 Z06 if it showed up. I may actually want to end up keeping it because I do really like it. There's no real character. It's very quiet, but again, that's the ultimate luxury. I think the V at $160,000 is way too much money for what it is, and it's not what I'm looking for from a luxury SUV. I think the TRX, without a doubt, kind of fills all of those gaps for big, rough, and aggressive, fun vehicle that I'd want. So this Cadillac Escalade is more of a luxury daily vehicle. And I've had a lot of views in the last couple of videos from like Saudi Arabia. I guess the Escalades are very popular there. So to all the Saudi Arabian people out there, hi. I'll take every view that I can get for my small channel. But again, hopefully you guys found this information informative. That's the price of the vehicle, the exact spec for the Escalade on the channel, the insurance, the monthly payment, the interest rate, and all the details that you guys enjoy watching on my channel. So a very long video. Imagine it'd be probably longer if I actually took the time to walk you guys through installing floor mats, which is very straightforward and easy. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'll try to condense it down as much as I can, but unfortunately it will be a long one. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. If you have not already, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Take a look at some of the other videos on the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. I'll link some good ones down in the description below, as well as on the end key cards. And just like that, I am out until the very next video. I look forward to seeing all of you 5,000 miles later.